Welcome to Sportsbook Review. This is the Pick Six Show, the $50,000 Pick Six contest here at Sportsbook Review is up and at 'em. We have week one in the books, and what a week it was. Those of you who thought there were going to be unders, there was a record amount of touchdowns in week one. Who thought there were going to be a lot of unders? I did, and took it right in the bottom out, but just 1 week. Just 1 week into this competition where we are giving out $1,600 every week, $50,000 all together, and we are off and rolling. First off, let's welcome everybody into the show, everybody in the chat. Jermel Wright, Alec Holligan, Oscar Valverde, Ramirez, Joe Anisi, Walla Dos, TJ Parks. What a great group. There's Seth Hagen, Anna Merrick, Keith Sadler. What a great group. We have a lot of work to do. What we do on this show is we toast the victors, we roast the losers, and we break down all these NFL games. We're going to talk NFL for the next 27 minutes. Then we're going to be joined by DJ Big Boss and Big Ragoo. We're going to be joined by both of them to talk college football. It is going to be exciting. There's Paco Healy. There's Malik Ogburn. There is Drink in Hand. Very, very exciting. Well, first and foremost, let's see the cappers that have won week one, that are putting cash in their pocket. Rafa, can we see the top six winners in our week one? There's Al Masters, Cheat on Dollars, lost Sean Guy, and we have Sean Wynn, excuse me. Cheat on we have that is not the graphic I was hoping to see. Okay, can we get the next graphic on of the top six and their records? That's the, oh God, you guys. Okay, there we go. Okay, there's the first graphic that I was hoping to see. Those are the winners from top six. Al Masters, Blumpkin Spice, PSD 99, Cisco Kid Yo. There are those records. Now, let's talk about the top six for a little bit there, Rafa. Let's talk about the top six right off the spot. So, if you want to win money, you can't just go 6-0. You have to find a plus spot on your card. That's what Al Masters has done. He found a plus spot. He found more than one plus spot. Let's take a look at exactly what Al Masters did. His 2-unit play was on the under 42.5 in Denver, Oakland. Too easy. But then he was on Kansas City minus 3.5 at plus 102. He was on the under 61 in South Florida, Georgia Tech. That was a bet I was also on, but he got plus 110. He got plus 105 on Purdue minus 7. That gave him the 7.17 plus units. And those plus units are the reason why he was taking home the most amount of money in week one. So the very first thing I did, I've only got one play in my pick six, is I'm on UCF. UCF, a game against Stanford. Stanford's star left tackle, who's going to be in the NFL, is dealing with an injury. He's not going to be in the lineup. And I waited. I watched the line go from 7 to 7.5. Now, I know 7's the number that you want to get. But at 7.5, I got that plus 105. So if I do go 6-0, I'll have that plus number to separate me from the pack. There was two guys who went 6-0 with plus numbers, and they got all the cash. They got the big cash. That was Al Masters and Blumpkin Spice. That's our Charles Tapley. And then Cisco Kid, 4th overall. So what happens then if you don't have any plus lines and you still go 6-0? It's all about your action. You need to have your action points. So the best 6-0 mark was our kid, Cisco Kid, our guy, Frankie knows. With Cisco Kid Yo, he goes 6-0 with 138 action points, which means, first off, he must have been on the Ravens, who beat the Dolphins 59-10, and there he is. He's on the Ravens that win 59-10. He's on the Vikings minus 4. They win 28-12. He's on Washington plus 10. They covered late, but they still covered. And then his 2-unit play was on Tennessee plus 5.5, and they win by 30 points. That's how you get the type of action points that will get you in the money. So there we go. Those are the top 6 cashers on the card. Now, Rafa, can you please show the notables, the guys that I do TV segments with, that I break down games with? There we are, and we are doing poorly. Ian Cameron first at 418th. Big Ragu next, Drew Martin. Ian Cameron, the only guy over 500. Now, Whale Capper and Flash were both at 500, but still negative units because they didn't hit their 2-unit play. I hit my 2-unit play, and it was the Baltimore Ravens. Natalie in the house says, need some picks, Jimmy. Fat Fist went 3-2-1, or 3-2 with a push. And Drew Martin says, Jimmy, give me some winners. Well, we just looked at our records, and our records are not good. Look at Sports Keg. We got Sports Keg in there. It says, I sent UCF out. Beautiful Sports Keg. I love seeing that. Joe Anisi goes 4-2. Shell Dog is 9th in the Big Boss contest. There's $200 in the Big Boss contest, but there's $50,000 in the Pick 6 contest. It's exciting stuff. Now, Seth Hagen says, I only beat Donnie and Teddy. I'm sure that Donnie and Teddy are going to clean up late. Week 1 is very, very difficult. Paco Ely says, I'm near last, going 2-4. And Drew Martin says, I'm under 500. And Natalie wondering who she should fade of that group. All right, so there's another little twist we have in this $50,000 Pick 6 contest. And that's that if you pick a team with your 2-unit max bet, and they complete a pick 6, which is returning an interception for a touchdown, then you get 600 bet points. Rafa, there weren't a lot of teams, and we have a lot to look at in college football and NFL. There weren't a lot of teams that completed the pick 6, but please show us the teams that did complete the pick 6. Rafa, let's start seeing them and let's break them down. See who's on the pick 6. Let's drop it one time, Rafa. Okay, here we go. There we go. There's the first group. Virginia, Missouri, and Connecticut all had pick 6s. Let's see what's next. With the pick 6s, we have Arkansas State, UL Monroe, and Wyoming. I was on Arkansas State, but not for a 2-unit play and not even in this contest. That's why I went on 2-4. Then we have Penn State, Murray State, Oklahoma State. They all completed the pick 6. And finally, Oklahoma. And that concludes the NCAA group. And then the Niners and the Titans. The Niners and the Titans also completed their pick 6. And there you have it. Now, if you want to make cash all season long, it helps to be an SBR Pro. Very easy to be an SBR Pro. And you might be saying, what do you get with SBR Pro membership? Well, it pays for itself over the course of the year. You unlock a whole new aspect of SBR offerings. You get double the bet points for logging in. Double for just logging in. Then free poker events 3 to 4 times a year. We have a big poker event going on very, very soon. Then we have SBR store merchandise. You buy things with your bet points. Very easy to become an SBR Pro. If you are in the U.S., just a $100 donation to a Make-A-Wish Foundation, to the Make-A-Wish Foundation, and then you are an SBR Pro. There it is right now. Rockboy Max says, so if I go 6-0, do I win? Well, what do you... First off, the key to this, and I talked about it off the top, got to find a plus line in there if you go 6-0. I already grabbed that with UCF, plus 7.5, or plus 105 on the minus 7.5. That helps. If you're not going to find a plus line there and you go 6-0, you need action points. You need action points. There's Keith Sadler saying, hoping I can get in, Jimmy. We're going to get you in, Keith Sadler. I promise you that we are going to get you in, and we need you in. We need all the low baggers in. Now, Rockboy Max, so if I go 6-0, do I win? We're just talking about week-to-week cash. If you go 6-0, then you're setting yourself up for grand prizes, for multiple $1,000 prizes. So still good, 6-0 without the action points. If you don't get paid for that week, at least you're 6-0, getting ready to take down this $50,000 contest. Drinking Hands said, Jimmy, I went 5-1, missed my 2-unit play on Seattle, and I'm in 135th, but I'm climbing this week. Fat Fist says, wait, you need a dog. Fat Fist, I do think it's important to have one plus spot. Not a dog, but as you see, if we're going to go look at what's going on right now in the contest, if you go to Make Picks, let's go to Make Picks right now on the contest page here. Let's look at NFL. Are there any plus lines in NFL? Giants are plus 100. No, they're... Oh, yes. Here we go. Perfect example. The Kansas City Chiefs at minus 7.5. Kansas City Chiefs at minus 7.5. That's at plus 106. You need to find one of those pluses if you're going to go 6-0 to get that big score. Alec Holligan says, my account suspended somehow. Jimmy said I had multiple accounts. Would love to play. Alec Holligan, I will copy and paste this, and I will make sure that you are in. But I do need to know your Twitter handle. I need to know your Twitter handle so that I can help hook that up. There we go. There is Big Ragu in the house. And Fat Fist, you just need to find a plus line. Not a plus. It doesn't need to be an underdog. You just need to find the plus line. So I showed you the Chiefs right now are minus 7.5 at plus 106. Let's go to college football, and there'll be a bunch of them. And that's why I grabbed UCF when I did, because I knew that would give me that plus line. Look, Miami of Ohio, plus 17 at plus 102, right? Depending on where the market's moving, you'll find minus 120s. You'll also find plus 105s. Let's see if we can grab another one here. Banging this out, looking down at this card. A lot of minus 110s. This is part of the game. This is part of the contest. You have to find these plus spots. And there's not a lot of them on this card, man. There's not a lot of them because UCF is no longer at that plus spot. Let's see what UCF Stanford is at right now. Here we go. There's Florida Atlantic, Ball State. UCF is now minus 7.5 at minus 115. But I got it at plus 105. I beat that market move by 20 cents. You got to keep your eye on what's going on here. All right, let's keep rolling. Let's keep rolling, and let's start breaking down these plays right now. We did have a bit of a graphic problem off the top, but we do have these graphics locked and loaded, so we apologize for that problem. Let's see. Here we go. Blumpkin Spice and Domdrum and Mike Nomo. Okay, we didn't have the right graphic up, so we do have that now. So let's show the guys who are getting paid right now in the $50,000 Pick 6 contest. There it is. Domdrum, Mike Normal, Cisco Kid, PSD 99, Blumpkin Spice, and Al Masters. There you go. There you have it. Big Ragu says, I give winners on the show and don't play them myself. Anthony Mastronardi saying USC game total 56 and minus 104. And Paco Healy saying send Seth to Vegas. Low bag summit of champions. Anthony Mastronardi also on the Minnesota under 47. So we will be joined now in about 15 minutes by Big Ragu and DJ Big Boss. And their expertise is in NCAA football. I was surprised that I made my move on NCAA football already. And that was me just thinking about getting one plus spot. When I saw the 7.5 and plus 105, I pounced on UCF. Let's talk about NFL, because that's where I want to make my money. And that's where I plan to make my money. Overall, with my picks, week 1, I went 6-6, and I'm down 0.25 units. There is Seth Hagen dropping the link. There's still time to get in the $50,000 Pick 6 contest. Remember that you can miss up to 3 weeks of bets and still qualify. Still qualify for the grand prize. So don't feel like you've missed out if you're not in week 1. You can still qualify for the grand prize. All right, let's start breaking down these games right now. And there's a lot of work to do. Let's start with the Thursday nighter Buccaneers at Panthers. Let's look at the market move and let's talk about how we want to handle it, how we want to deal with it. We're going to SBR odds right now, and we are going to jump on our NFL page. So I'm going to NFL odds here at SBR.com. And here we go. Tampa Bay, Carolina. Carolina opening up at minus 6.5, now minus 7, almost across the board. Actually, that's not true. There's still 6.5s available at Bet365, Intertops, Heritage, and Bookmaker. If you don't have the SBR odds page open at all times, you are making a mistake with your capping. It's imperative to know where the money's going and what the market is doing. If you're interested in this total, it opened at 50.5 and is all the way down to 48.5 at Intertops, Heritage, and Bookmaker, 49 everywhere else. That's the only way I would look, but this game makes me extremely uncomfortable. Makes me extremely uncomfortable. And Shell Dog says using pick 6 for NFL only. I can understand that. It's up to you how you want to handle the contest picks. This is a big spread, this Buccaneers-Panthers, for a divisional game. Every year I find Carolina extremely unpredictable, this oft-injured, possibly disinterested quarterback with a ton of skill, but that's a vividness bias we have with Cam Newton, because if you were watching Cam Newton on Sunday, this is not the kind of quarterback that you want to be betting on. But as Donnie says all the time, you only look at the home team on Thursday nighters, but this second Thursday nighter of the season is a little bit easier than it's going to be on these Thursday nighters in week 8. There's Randy Lockhart in now. It says lean Buccaneers plus 7, 91% of the public on the Panthers, and a sharp line move detected against the Panthers. Very interesting. Walla Walla Do says leaning Carolina and the under. Alec Holligan says I'll take Panthers money line at home. Man, I don't trust either of these teams. Sure, I trust Carolina a little bit more. Sure. I mean, we had rumors about the Buccaneers dealing with the flu in that 49ers game. Winston looked terrible. Everything looked terrible except for the Buccaneers run game, but the 49ers are playing a wide 9, which leaves the whole middle of the field open. So the fact that they did have a good running game it's not necessarily an example of what we're going to see in the future. Now, we know that Arians and Bowles were focusing on the running game in preseason. Still, that does not mean very much. Anthony Mastronardi says, how do you not take Arizona, Baltimore over 47 at plus 110? Because I don't trust Arizona on Kyler Murray on the road first game. You think he's going to play like he did at home against the Lions? And there we go. Fatfist says Colts plus 3 at plus 102. Good, right? Good, Jimmy, right? Exactly, Fatfist. That's exactly how you do it. Rockboy Max says, the best record at the end of the season wins the 50K. Not really. We have 50K dispersed, but it's a huge prize for the winner, the grand winner. Let me get to it right now. The winner of this $50,000 competition, because we broke the $50,000 up. Let's go to contest right now. And it has all of the goods on the fine print on the right side. Here we go. The winner overall, the winner, here we go. We have the payouts after week 9. We have payouts each week. And the winner after the season is over, the regular season, first prize is $6,000. Second gets $3,500. Third, $2,500. Fourth, $1,250. Fifth, $850. The top 25 get paid cash at the end of the year. D Money said, Jimmy, let him know my teaser. I will let him know your teaser. I like the look of your teaser. Let me get to it right now. This is D Money's teaser. Oh, this is D Money's action in the contest too. I like that. Okay, so I've got 2 things from D Money. D Money's teaser is He's on Panthers -0.5 at plus 100, and he's tying that with the Buccaneers Panthers under 55.5 at -110. That's our guy D Money. That's how he's handling things. I also have D Money's picks for the Pick 6 contest. He has not asked me to share that. Although look at what a start for D Money. Starts out 5-1. Oh, that's gorgeous. Hits with Kansas City on the 2-unit play. Hits with the Rams. What beautiful work. D Money opening up at 5-1. Cassandra Magic says, last week my record 2-4. Looking for some nice picks this week. Rockboy Mac loving the Chargers, Dallas, and the Bears. D Money missed that perfect day by 1. Alex Holligan says Falcons, baby. Matty Ice 10-1 against the spread in home openers. Ooh, that's a copy and paster from our guy, Alec Holligan. I'm going to copy and paste that right here. Copy and paste. Sports Cake says road teams historically get crushed against the spread on Thursday nights, but who wants to lay that number with the Panthers? Well put, Sports Cake. I agree with that absolutely, completely. Who wants to lay that number with the Panthers? To me, this is a Buccaneers or no bet. A Buccaneers or no bet if I was going to make a move. All right, we're going to be joined in 9 minutes by Ragu and Big Boss. So let's take a look at these games quickly. Colts Titans, I'm leaning towards the over. I am not sure if I'm going to make a move. I thought the Colts looked very good, very, very good in their game on Sunday against the Chargers. I think Brissett is a good enough quarterback. I mean, he was an excellent backup, but people talk about how trash he is when they were angry about Luck being gone. I thought Brissett was good. I mean, we're not talking about Nathan Peterman here. We're talking about Jacoby Brissett, and I think he's good. The Titans are a tough team to bet on. It always feels like the Titans win games they shouldn't and lose games they should win, and I don't trust them. But A.J. Brown looked incredible. We're going to be saying his name a lot this year. That's a healthy Delaney Walker. Derrick Henry, 84 yards and a touchdown on 19 carries. 1 catch for 75 yards on 2 targets. He looks very, very, very good. Very, very good. Chris Sanitate says, how do you become SBR pros? Chris Sanitate, if you are in the States, please let me know if you're in the States. If you're in the States, then all you have to do is donate $100 to the Make-A-Wish Foundation through our website. Simple as that. $100 to Make-A-Wish Foundation, then you are an SBR pro for a year, and that pays back. You can make that money back very, very fast because we have free contests for the SBR pros with cash prizes, as well as a merchandise store for your bet points where you can buy tons of stuff. And Casano Magic says, I do like the Colts +3. Rob Boy Max says, the thing is, Titans very, very good against the run. This Titans defense is very, very good. The Titans are just a good baseball team. Or good football team. Sorry, too much baseball in my head. Colts Titans. This is a short line. And I do not trust the Titans as a favorite, but I like the Titans as a dog. So I'm not going to make a move on this spot. Let's move over to the Chargers-Lions. We've already seen a market move. We've seen the Sharps on these Detroit Lions. The Sharps love home dogs early in the season, and this is no different. Detroit opens at +3. They're now at +2.5. To me, I cannot imagine anyone putting money on the Lions after that performance. There's Cody AV in the house. Now, one thing that did happen was the Lions were in complete control and started cruising. And that's dangerous to do that on the road. Here at home against the Chargers, they probably don't ever go in cruise control. And they're not a bad football team, but they did look bad. Look, Joe and EC, Bears -1.5 already locked in. Drinking Hand says Titans went 9-7 last 2 years, 6-2 at home. Last 2 years, Titans cover. I understand that, but that 3 points is uncomfortable. That 3 points makes me nervous. Chargers, Lions, I have a look towards that over. That Chargers defense without Derwin James did not look very good. I have a little lean towards the over. Let's see what we'd get if we took that over. The total opened up at 47. It's now at 48 in some books, still at 47.5. I've only locked in that UCF play at this point. Then we have Bills, Giants. How do we not rock with the Bills here? The Giants are a bad football team. They make Dak Prescott look spectacular. He's just a game manager. The Bills should win this. But we have another spot where the Sharps are all over the Giants. Giants open up at +3 and go down to +1.5, +1 at 5 dimes. Still some +2s out there. That's difficult. Pucko Ely says, yes, Chargers defense bounces back. And Chef Pat Can Cook has South Carolina State takes down USF. Taking down USF. And Randy Lockhart leaning to the Lions. 80% of public money on the Chargers. Yeah, the Chargers were disappointing, but I'm certainly not going to take the Lions. The over might be the best look for me. Dennis Garcia says, how unfortunate. The Lions were my 2-unit play last week. Yuck. They were on my card too. Let's go over to exactly what happened with me in that contest, because I was on the Chargers. I was on the Lions as well. Let's take a look at exactly what went down for me. Here we go. Jimmy the Bag. Click on my 2-4 record. I did hit with my 2-unit play. Here we go. I had Denver -1. It was bad. Baltimore -6.5 for my 2-unit play. That was easy. I had the under 44.5, Washington, Philadelphia. That did not look good as soon as Washington got up to a lead. Then I had the under 45.5, Giants, Dallas. I'd given up on that. But if they didn't get that late touchdown, that late meaningless touchdown, I would have actually cashed it. I was on Detroit -2.5 and -115. That was a loss. And then I did cash with Indianapolis +6.5. Dom Ricci says Jets beat themselves. Walla Walla Doe says Bills not overly impressive week 1. I agree, but he does say getting Jets Giants away back-to-back must be nice. It is a nice spot for them. There's no doubt about that. That's a nice spot for them. All right, let's keep rolling along here, breaking down these games. We only have a few minutes before we are joined by our guys, Big Ragu and DJ Big Boss. We have Cardinals Ravens. Baltimore gets such an easy start. I mean, it looked very, very easy, sending up lobs to Hollywood Brown against that Dolphins secondary. We thought the Dolphins secondary was going to be good this year, but you have to have a pass rush to be good, and they didn't. Kyler Murray was impressive. Let's see what he does on the road. This is a huge spread, and I'm afraid of touching it because I certainly think that Cardinals could get a couple garbage time TDs. There's A. Hilly in the house. Says, love this show, Jimmy. Thank you for watching it. A. Hilly in the house. Patriots, Dolphins. This game makes me extremely uncomfortable. I want nothing to do with this. Have we seen -20s on the board? Actually, it's coming down. Wow. So we do have a -20.5 at 5 dimes, but they're protecting themselves with teasers. There's 19.5 at Bovada, but 18.5's everywhere else. So actually, some money's come back in on Miami because, Pinnacle never moved it to 19. Okay, Pinnacle never moved it to 19. Pinnacle opened this up on the 9th, 2 days ago, at -15, and all the money came in on the Patriots. It's now -18.5. Divisional game. Miami always plays them tough. The big thing is such a recency bias at play here. These Dolphins have to show some heart here. They simply have to show heart here, and I expect them to show heart. But in saying that, I'm not going to take the worst team in the league, but I'm happily going to cash my under 5.5 wins. I put $400 on that. Happily going to take that. Nutflush Allen said it earlier, Patriots score first. I like that look. Anthony Mastronardi says Pats will roll this game. Don't forget that Magic ending in Miami had last year. People keep talking about that, and this Dolphins team is so bad, but I'm not going to take it. I don't want anything to do with it. Now we go to Cowboys at Redskins. I actually have a bit of a feeling towards this over. We've seen a 2-point move, opened at 6.5, now at 4.5. We've seen a 2-point move towards the Redskins. This total is pretty low. But it's already, so if I could have got it at the 44 opening line, I would have hammered it. It's now at 46.5. I'm going to stay off of it. Nutflush Allen says, what's worse? The Dolphins are getting into Miami Stadium. Yes, Nutflush Allen was with us in Miami trying to get into that stadium. Don Reach says that sidearm throw of Josh Allen's going to get eaten up soon. Plus, he runs reckless. Giants have no playmakers. I lean under. Interesting. There's DJ Big Boss ready to hop on the show. So we'll quickly go through these next games and then get into college football. First, we'll ask Ragu and Big Boss if they have any looks on this NFL card. For me, Jaguars, Texans. You know, Minshew didn't look that bad. I understand people not believing in him, but Minshew didn't look that bad, and I'm not kind of bug here. Did I get it? Yes, I did. Killed that fucking bug. All right. Minshew did not look bad. 22 for 25, 285 yards. Still waiting to hear if Myles Jack gets a suspension. We haven't heard about that yet. Steelers, do you trust them here? Do you trust the Seahawks flying all the way over? This would be probably a Steelers look, but at 4, I would not be surprised if this was a field goal game, and I wouldn't be shocked if Seahawks went outright. Both of these teams, I mean, when you were watching the Seahawks against the Bengals, you had to be thinking to yourself, what's going on? Like, are the Seahawks a bad football team? We're getting a nice line because of the Steelers laying an egg. I might make a move on the Steelers. I don't think I will. 49ers, I'm interested in the 49ers and the over in 49ers Bengals. I love that the 49ers went right from Tampa to Youngstown, Ohio. I know that flu-ridden Buccaneers team is not a great example of how good the 49ers can be. So I'm not sure about that spot. Paul Taylor, the sailor, like in Bears and the under. And Anthony Mastronardi said that loss to Miami last year cost them home field advantage. It certainly did. And the Patriots overcame that, at Arrowhead spectacularly. Vikings, Packers, I think this is a very tough spot. Minnesota's a good football team. Both defenses are good. Vikings have a better offense. Packers have a better quarterback. Devontae Adams didn't do a single thing last week. He's got to bounce back. From the Viking side of things, Dalvin Cook looked spectacular. Chiefs, Raiders, Tyreek Hill injured. The Raiders look good. The Raiders are at home. The Chiefs are coming all the way over to the West Coast. It wouldn't surprise me if people jump on the Raiders plus 7.5. It's sort of a game I want to stay away from. I think the Rams can beat the Saints here at home. I do not believe the Saints are going to unleash any anger from what happened last year. Then we have this Bears-Broncos under that I thought might open up at like 38.5 or 39. Sure enough, it opens up at 40.5 and doesn't move. I couldn't believe the Broncos did nothing defensively against the Raiders. It made no sense to me that Chubb and Von Miller weren't even hurrying the quarterback. Shocking. I figured they'd bounce back here. They must bounce back here. Nutflush Allen says Seahawks are not the same team on the road. Well, they look bad at home, but I agree with you, they're not. And Americ says Vikings, baby. D-Money says, Jimmy, don't buy it. Chiefs will cover. I'm not going to take the Raiders by any stretch of the imagination. I could just understand why people would. But I hear you, D-Money. Then we have Eagles, Falcons. I'm interested in the over. And I should stop saying, I'm interested. Because it hasn't gone up. Wow, I thought there were 51.5s. There aren't 51.5. So it's still at 51. I'm interested. In fact, I'm going to make a move on this. This Eagles-Falcons over will be on my card. And I'd like the Browns to bounce back on Monday night. Bounce back next week. I think that humbling helps. And I think they look good. Here. Randy Lockhart going up to 9 for the Raiders. Walla Walla Dos got Bears minus 1.5, but not in the pick 6. So we shall talk more about that. So right now, I'm only on UCF minus 7.5 plus 105, but I'm going to make a move on the Browns. I'm going to make a move on the Eagles Falcons over. Those are 2 moves I'm sure I'm going to make. Other than that, I've got a lot of work to do. Because I want to take the Bills and Chargers, but sitting here with road favorites week 2 does not give you cash. Malik Ogburn says, don't buy the Browns. I'm telling you what, I'm waiting on Mosley. If Mosley's not playing, the Browns win comfortably. Malik Oakland says Browns are overhyped. They're not anymore after that destruction that they just received. So there we go. That is going to be my card right now. I'm only on UCF minus 7.5 plus 105. Shell Dog says, I think the Raiders can keep it close. And Rock Boy Max says Chiefs at the half is the bolt lock. Well, now that we've talked NFL, let's bring in our guys. DJ Big Boss and Big Ragu in the house joining us. DJ Big Boss coming to us live from Long Beach, California, by way of Compton, California. Let's start with DJ Big Boss. How you doing on this Wednesday evening, boss?
What up, now, Jimmy? Cheers to all my low backers in the chat. What's going down? I'm feeling great on a Wednesday, but I'm also overwhelmed with capping and all this football. I'm a kid in a buffet right now, Jimmy. I got a few things to say about those NFL picks you had earlier too, but how you been doing today, Jimmy?
I've been doing great. I've been excited to hang with you guys. Now we get to have fun. A lot of this capping is waking up really early and grinding, but getting a chance to hang out with you guys, I get to enjoy myself, have a drink, and smile and laugh. Let's bring in Big Ragu in the house, representing Tampa, I would call it North Florida, but we know it's not at the very northern end. We'll see what Ragu calls it, but representing Florida, we got Big Ragu in the house. How are you doing on this Wednesday evening?
What's up, fellas? Jimmy, crew, and company, doing real good. How about you guys?
We're doing good. And you guys, first off, some spectacular capping you guys have been doing on the Morning Line Saturday show. Saw you guys eating, but in the contest, we are not looking very good. Rafa, would you put up the notables graphic again of how we are standing? Because we are not looking good. We've got to step up our game. In a big way. But it's just week one. I'm not too scared. But only Ian Cameron over 500. All right, let's start talking NFL. Jerry Beatty says, bet your lungs on Chicago Bears, anything 3 or under. Sheldog saying the boss killing it, second place in his contest. Yes, he is killing it in his contest, but there's only $200 available in his contest. 50,000 in this one. DJ Big Boss, you were talking about some of my NFL looks. What captures your attention?
Hey, the biggest one, Jimmy, is the Miami Patriots game. Now, we all know that Miami sometimes can get the best of the Patriots or at least cover the spread against them. That's an excellent look on Miami. But the one thing that I was chit-chatting sports with folks, you know how we do in the public and stuff, and the guy mentioned something that sparked the light bulb. And that's what he said, that Belichick has difficulty playing against young quarterbacks. So I took that in as, because Belichick is a preparation guy, that it may be a little more difficult for him to prepare against younger athletes like Rosen, because he has such a smaller sample size to prepare. Because you know that guy, he can, if you blow your nose with the right, he knows you're gonna throw left, and that he's a studier of the game, and that kind of throws him a little off balance. And with a large spread like that, there's a lot of action right there on Miami, Jim.
To me, it would probably be Miami or nothing. But I certainly don't want to put faith in Flores and that brutal football team that seems to have given up a weekend. But I hear that look. Teddy B says take the Vikings. In that Packers spot. Big Ragu, is there any NFL spots that are jumping out at you?
First of all, you don't give any professional team 19 points. I don't care who the hell it is. So take the Miami Dolphins plus the points. They can't win. They win down there, but they don't cover. It's too many points, and they never have good luck in Miami. If you look at history, they don't get the job done down there. So take the 19 points on that one.
I agree.
That's not my look, though.
That's not your look, but I know that you're going to focus on NCAA football, but I think that. Torino Tomor now says Belichick doesn't have trouble with young quarterbacks. He's almost never lost to rookies. I hear that. Walla Joe says, can you bet the side and total on the same game? Of course you can. Of course you can. Oh, wow. Very exciting stuff. Let's break into some of your NCAA football looks. Let's start off with you, DJ Big Boss. I'm over here on the Sportsbook Review page, odds page here. I'm clicking on NCAA football odds, and I'm very thankful that you guys already took me to UCF -7.5. I'm very thankful to be there. That line is moving quickly. But what's your first look on this card, DJ Big Boss?
Okay, Jimmy. First look coming out the gate. This Boston College and Kansas game that's coming up on Friday. Now, when we capped Kansas early in the season, we capped Kansas to be a below team, and it proved last week that, that is what they are. And this Boston College team right here, they're kind of on a mission. They're really balanced, but this running back, Dylan, he is great. And they got some nice packages to him to run, and it's opening up the pass. They have a history of nice-sized tight ends and a whole lot going on now. The 21 points is a little bit much, and I wouldn't look at it full game, but I kind of like Boston College first half. But for the pick six, I definitely say take the 21 with Kansas, because Boston College, they not have a history of blowing people out. I have never seen them beat this team more than by 21 points or more.
So you would back Kansas even against this big market move. Would you have taken Kansas at plus 18.5, or is it the 21 that captures your attention?
It's the 21 plus and the hook too on some books, because when you talk over 21, I don't look at it as 22 points or 3 touchdowns and a field goal. I look at it as 4 full touchdowns. So I don't think that this Boston College team, they're one of those type teams that play sort of like military-ish, conservative type ball. They're not really in the game for blowing teams out. So 21 is a bit high. Had it been more down to 17, 16 or something like that, I would have been looking at the back Boston College full game. I definitely think that they're going to come out in the first half and get a nice lead. But these are the type of teams that can run the ball a little bit. So in the second half, they're going to pull out the running back to get the first downs, to eat up the clock. You know how you're sitting on the edge of an over or under, and you get into the second half, and you hoping that they need one more extra score, but the coach just don't have the nuts to score on the 5-yard line with seconds left. This is that team in Boston College, and they're not in the game beating people by 22 points basically, or 28 points. So I'm taking Kansas full game, but I definitely like the lower odds in the first half. I haven't had a chance to see what it came out at us today, but I definitely like Boston College to start off fast, first half. I'm going to be taking that in some of my personal bets. But as for the contest, go ahead. Give yourself 22-plus points and take Kansas in this one in the contest.
Wow, interesting. Have you already locked in Kansas?
No picks locked in the pick six, Jimmy. I locked in UCF on the Big Boss contest, and y'all make sure y'all get in the Big Boss contest. If you get a pick six for the week, you might as well win in both of them anyway. But for the pick six contest, I haven't took anything yet.
Hasn't locked anything in yet. Chris Sanitate says, does anyone else like Oklahoma? We will speak on that game. All right, let's see what Big Ragu has up his sleeve. What's the first look in this NCAA card that has your fingerprints all over it?
Oh, if you remember on the show Saturday, I talked about a little team named Arkansas State that was traveling to UNLV to play a very emotional game. They had a passing on the team, and they went out there and they stomped a mud hole in UNLV's ass, being a 1-point underdog. I think they won by like 30-something points. But now this week, they got to come back home. They got to go visit the Georgia Bulldogs. Now, the Georgia Bulldogs has got Notre Dame up next week. I know that's DJ Big Boss's team, and he's probably – I know who he's going to bet already against Georgia next week, but we're not looking ahead. Georgia's going to be looking ahead just a little bit. I think that Georgia's going to start this game real fast. They're going to probably rest some starters, probably around the third quarter. I look for them to get out early, big. I think they're like 33-point favorite. The halftime line, I think, is the first half. I think is like 20. Don't even think about it. Just lay the 20 points with Georgia and collect their money, because this team is really emotionally spent after that game. They left their heart on the field. I know the athletic director. He's a friend of my brother-in-law's up in. My cousin. He's my cousin's brother-in-law. So I get a little inside info on that, and they're going to be ready to play Georgia, but I don't think they're going to hang early. I think the game gets ugly quick, and then they take their foot off the gas. So take Georgia minus the 20.
Georgia first half minus the 20. Interesting look. And, man, you nailed the Arkansas State UNLV spot, and I thank you very much, because I had a bad Saturday, and last week was just rough for me altogether. I'm climbing out of the hole slowly, but, man, thank you for Arkansas State. That helped me very, very, very much. So there we go. Georgia first half. We have from our Ragu. I'm going to be writing these down here in my notes. Ragu's got Georgia first half. And we have Big Boss getting his card going back in Kansas at plus 21 right now. Alec Holligan saying UNLV is trash. Northwestern will smack them. We're going to talk about these games. Tom Marino says, I'm on Ohio State. Indiana is a freshman quarterback who struggled against Ball State. Ohio State offensive line is built for the road. There's Nasty Nate in the house. Paco Healy in the house. DJ Big Boss, what's the next look on your NCAA football card?
I'm jumping right into the smoke, Jimmy, with this Ohio State game. Like, off top, this just looked lopsided it opened at minus 15. I don't know what it is now. This Indiana team, they are sized a little bit bigger than the competition that Ohio State have played so far. They're pretty good at the QB spot. The QB's kind of mobile and can throw. The running back is decent. The wide receivers are so-so. The O-line is better on the run block than the pass, but they're nice guys as well. D-line is average. Defensive backs are poor, and the linebackers have problems tackling. They had a lot of and that's what I'm looking for when I watch these games, Jimmy. I'm looking for bad tackling. And I've seen some bad tackling on Indiana. They come in to play this Ohio State team now. This will be a size-wise bigger contest for this Ohio State team, but have you seen this Ohio State team? Now, my son, he loves Ohio State in the Notre Dame house. So I really don't like Ohio State, but have you seen this Ohio State team? Man, spread offense. The new coach added some new plays in there. They're doing remarkable stuff in the coaches category as well as on the field. And this young guy quarterback that they brought up, he's been everything and the bag of chips. And Urban Meyer not being there might be, not such a big deal considering the drama that they had last year. And this guy that's in there, he's ready to go. And just, all systems go in Ohio State. They are a university known for blowing people out. They're playing this year with a chip on their shoulder. They have something to prove. And 15 points is just not enough against Indiana.
Ohio State has looked incredible early in the season, but there's not 15 anymore. It's all the way up to 17 at Bovada, 16 and a half everywhere else. Does that concern you, or you think anything under 18, you'd back Ohio State?
Absolutely. You dialed the magic number. 18, I would either fall off or, just, do something different. I wouldn't go to the other side. I wouldn't play with it like that because Ohio State, once again, if they can score 70 in the game, they will score 70. They don't have no mercy in Ohio State. Yes, this is a road game in Indiana, sort of a rival game in the area. It has all those aspects to it, and that's the reason why the total might have came out so low. Or maybe it came out so low because they knew they would bet it high, and if it came out high, the people were all right under it. But got to take Ohio State at this number early in the season.
What is your prediction of where this number ends up, Big Boss? Where do you think it ends up on Saturday morning?
That's a good question right there. I can't see money coming in on Indiana to drive it down any. jump on as soon as you can, like I have. And if it's at 17.5 right now, that's about as high as we're going to go. If you jump on it now, if it goes 18, that's just a lot on it right there. That's just too much juice on it. I would have to fall off at 18. But 17.5 is my highest mark to me.
Well, Tolmore got it at 16, and you can easily get it at 16.5 right now. 16.5 is market. Bovada's hanging a 17. Malik Ogburn liking Ohio first half, and I think that the Ohio State double up might be necessary here. Great job by Tomarino getting it at 16. Let's see what Ragu has next on his card. Big Ragu, what are you looking at?
I got a lot of more is what I got for you guys. A lot of more. All right. So let's get started. All right. We're jumping on two teams that I've been going with and against. Wake Forest and North Carolina. Now, here's something real interesting with North Carolina. I looked at their schedule. All their games are almost in the state of North Carolina, which is nuts. They're either in Virginia or North Carolina or Georgia, and that's it. So they don't have much traveling to do. So I'm not going to say they're all home games for them, but basically they played the first game neutral field. Then they played the home game. Now they go to Wake Forest. Now Wake Forest is going to give them a different look this week than they're used to seeing because we know they play the up-tempo. And we had a pretty good week last week with Wake Forest. So I think right now in this situation that they're in, Mac Brown's got everybody bought into the system, no doubt. Sam Howell, he's a gamer, a freshman. I think sooner or later, though, they got to come down to earth just a little bit. So I think what's going to happen with this, the up-tempo offense of Wake Forest, they've got a pretty good number as far as yards per point, or points per yard, should I say. And then North Carolina's defense is pretty average, and they had a couple games that were basically handed to them. I think the look on North Carolina is they're probably a little more solid on the defensive side than they are on the offensive side. They just had two pretty good matchups that favored them, with Miami being young, and the game last week or the first week with South Carolina making some mistakes. So I like Wake Forest. I'm going to double up on Wake Forest here. I think the line's sitting at 3, and you get the first half at 1.5, and later 3 with Wake Forest full game. I like that look an awful lot.
One of my mistakes last week was not tailing you guys more. You guys were both all over Wake Forest. Boss on first half, you on full game. And I know they just squeaked out the cover, but who cares about squeaking out? It's about cashing tickets. And that was one thing that was, I had trouble. Friday, I went 0-5 in MLB, and then Saturday, I went into Saturday's NCAA football card 7-4 on the season, and could have been better than 7-4. Was unlucky at 7-4, and then got beaten up badly. And the Wake Forest just kept me up. Man, like Sunday morning at 3 a.m., I'm just staring, thinking about you guys on Wake Forest and me leaving that money on the table. And I know I got to get to sleep for NFL football. And I couldn't. I was very angry weekend I had, not tailing you guys more. Yeah. There we go from Ragu, Wake Forest. And there is another double up opportunity. So just listening to you guys, and it's so important to cap the cappers. Feels like Ohio State double up, Wake Forest double up, first half full game. Love these looks early. Let's move on to our guy, DJ Big Boss. What's next on your card?
Ooh, let's get it, Jimmy. This one right here is going to come out the Mountain West, where I do it the best. And this one is the Colorado State at Arkansas. Now, last year they played at Colorado State. Colorado State won 34-27. So this team is definitely a revenge game right here, but no big deal because this Arkansas team is not very well. I had them spot on last week with the Ole Miss going under. And Ole Miss didn't have no offense, Jimmy. Ole Miss offense took a long time to open up, even though they scored 31 points. It took a long time, a lot of teeth pulling. But they had some controversy over in Arkansas. The quarterback, Hicks, he got pulled in the second half. They brought in Starkle, the junior. And this guy just didn't do much. He did score, but he didn't make a great big difference on the game right there. He probably has a lot to work on. And this Colorado State team, I think really high up in the Mountain West. Quarterback Colin Hill over there, he can really fire the ball off. He got a nice group of wide receivers that go and pick it up wherever he puts it out there. Last game they played a small team, first play of the game, bomb, touchdown. So I'm always trying to back teams that want to, as a captain, you got to back teams that's going to do the long plays. Big play teams, we like those because they the one make the big difference and create the value. So I like Colorado State in that respect. I'm not really sure how they're giving Arkansas 10 points in this one, Jimmy. Maybe, I would give them a touchdown because they was at home. But the extra 3, I just can't justify it. And I really think Colorado State, I don't take underdogs unless I think they can win the whole game. And I think Colorado State, because the total is set at like 64 or something, so that means that they're already predicting it to be a high-scoring game. If it goes high-scoring game, the high-flying team is going to win. And Colorado State moves the ball way better than Arkansas. Both of them defense are mediocre, other than the size that Arkansas is going to bring it over. That's going to be a little difference for Colorado State. But Colorado State has the tenacity and the drive to win and the coaching over there to try to get them to the next level. So I'm definitely taking Colorado State. That's going to be my official pick on the pick 6 for the Mountain West right here. It's Colorado State plus that magic number 10. 10s and 11, we do that Mountain West.
I like that look. Colorado State plus 10. That total keeps climbing. Opens up at 60. Now it's all the way at 64 at most books. Heritage hanging 63.5. Wow. Colorado State from Big Boss. Copy and paste that. Colorado State right there from Big Boss. So we got Big Boss on Kansas plus 21. Ohio State, which is a possible double-up situation. And then we have them on Colorado State as well. Man, I'm loving this content. I'm loving hearing what you guys are on. And I learned last week that I should focus on what you guys are on. Let's hear what Ragu has up next. Ragu's on Georgia first half and Wake Forest in another possible double-up situation. Ragu, what's your third spot on this NCAA football card?
It's one that you brought up, Jimmy, already that we talked about. Just south of me, UCF and Stanford. Now, they both coaches, I love both these guys. They both got different style play. Stanford likes to grind it out, more pro set, slower tempo. We know UCF likes to run the up tempo with Heupel, but I think in this particular game, we know there's a big market move already. There's a lot of public money and sharp money coming on UCF, so the books can get smashed up in this one. So I expect the numbers to keep climbing in this game. And I think you still have value even if you're looking at 8 points. I know there's some 8s out there and maybe some 8.5s. So I'm not going to say this is a good double-up game because I think what's going to happen here when Stanford comes rolling in, they're going to try to slow the game down. UCF is going to try to run the up-tempo on them. Now, one thing you want to keep in mind, if you check the forecast out because I think there's going to be a little bit of rain this weekend coming down here in Central Florida. So I'm going to be on the East Coast. I'm going to be doing the show from Daytona on Saturday, but I'm going to keep a close eye on the weather, but I want to get my action in now. So I've already got it in at 7. I'm looking to maybe add to it if the line stays where it's at, but depending upon the weather, just keep that in mind for you guys that get in a little late. But if you want to take a shot and try to get in now, take the UCF minus the 7.5, 8. I like that look a lot. Weather permitting now, because don't forget, if it gets kind of sloppy, it could be anybody's game at that point. But definitely going to be up-tempo. They're going to try to slow down Stanford. They're going to play a methodical game. But I think UCF over time, if everything holds up, they'll grind Stanford down, and they'll have some late scoring, pull-away type game. A double-digit win for UCF.
I like it. And with the injury to the left tackle, the expected future NFLer on Stanford, if it is a rainy game, do you think that Stanford's running game we know that the left tackle's hurt. Do you still think that the Stanford's running game could give them an advantage?
I wouldn't say so much an advantage, but the way when weather comes in, it just changes the whole MO of the game. So you can have a turnover here or there. Then field position becomes an issue, and then I'm not a big fan of betting overs, to be honest with you, and wet conditions. And UCF is going to need to dry conditions to kind of run their offense, I think, a little bit better. So I think the rain might favor Stanford in a way. But I still think UCF is still a double-digit better team, even in the rain. But anybody that's interested in the total, that's what I was talking about. Just kind of watch that.
No, that's a good point. Very good point. Brandon Lugo backing it up says may have some weather Saturday and wind and rain in UCF. All right, so we've got the first 3 looks from both Big Boss and Big Ragu. So it is now time, after 3 looks, to take a look at our beautiful Pick 6 women. We have decided to possibly bring one of these Pick 6 women back for one of these shows, but we need to know from you, the chat, whom you think should be brought back. And it was clear week 1 of our show that the Green Bay Packers, the woman representing the Green Bay Packers, was the most beloved. Let's see what happens week 2. Rafa, could you roll through our Pick 6 women representing the Dallas Cowboys? There, Kansas City. She was very, very sweet and kind. The Raiders, man. Ooh, geez. Oh, the Eagles, man. She was our quarterback. And then the Packers. She's gotten a lot of love here. And then the Patriots. I wish she could spin around, and then maybe she'd get more love. Let's take a quick look at what our guys are saying. We got Malik says, Green Bay girl. Rafa, could you give it to us one more time? I think the guys need it one more time. Here we go, representing the Cowboys. Sure. She was very, very friendly. Oh, yeah. Oh, God, yeah. And then we have the Eagles QB. And the Packers. And the Patriots. All right. Big Ragu says, KC has a nice look. My home. She was very warm, very kind. Malik Open says, or the Chiefs girl. Walla Walla Doe says, maybe a third time just to be sure. Rafa, can you give that to us one more time? Let's get a nice look here. All right. Oh, yes. Very well. Oh, jeez. She was very sweet. Oh, no. Oh. And there's our quarterback. She's a leader right there. Here's our Packers girl one more time. Oh, and then the Patriots girl. She looks better in person than she does right there. All right, Nate Shellhammer. See, this is how we get some of the cappers who have not spoken up yet in the capping stuff. Says Raiders. Demetrios Davis says, absolutely love Raiders. Ski Prophet says, hate to say it, but I like the Raiders girl. Ron Lofton says, it's still Green Bay. Vinny Cornell says, Raiders, baby. Raven in the desert, liking the Eagles. Dennis Garcia says, fly, Eagles, fly. Anthony Mastronardi says, Eagles, fly, because of them lips. I'm going to have to look at that again. Tomarino Tomor, though, does not care. Says Shaw, so conservative, horrible to lay points. Not as bad as the dog, though. Joe Martinez says all of them. It looks like the Raiders go. Ian Jackson liking the Chiefs. Gerardo Hernandez liking Green Bay. Wow. Keith Sanders said Chiefs, babe. David Sand says go Eagles. Shell Dog like your Chiefs. Oh, Paco Healer says F job. So what I've noticed so far is it was Packers girl week 1, Raiders girl week 2, and I don't think they're watching right now. So let me be the first to say that in person, the Raiders girl is fine, and the Packers girl, although she does have assets, the Raiders girl is hotter than the Packers girl. Now, if the Packers girl wins, I will gladly sit beside her. And you saw me kill a fly here while I was capping. I'm not afraid to man up. All right? I'm not afraid to man up. Big Boss saying Chiefs, Ian Jackson saying Chiefs, and Ike Johnson says only time I'm liking Raiders over Eagles. Only time I like Raiders over Eagles. Now, that Eagles was a leader. All right, we've locked down 3 plays from both our guys, Big Ragu and DJ Big Boss. To remind you, Big Boss, Kansas plus 21. Ohio State could be a double-up spot, and Colorado State as a plus 10-point dog. Big Ragu on Georgia first half. thinking about I am thinking from his capping about a Wake Forest double. Although we've had some cappers on the other side, and then UCF, Big Ragu and Boss already got me on that. My unit size college football is smaller. And I'm really upset with how I handled last week and sort of embarrassed, to be honest with you. There was too many plays. And in fact, I locked in 12 plays on Friday, and then I added 3 big dogs on Saturday. Now, some interesting things happened for me. For the first time in the 2 years I've been here, when I've had over 5 double-digit dogs, I went 0-6 on them, which has never happened to me before. That's not going to keep me away from double-digit dogs, but I went 0-3 on my last play Saturday morning. To me, that tells me, if I don't like it Friday night, then I shouldn't bet it Saturday. Unless sleeping on it has taken me there. If I'm not on it during the week, I should not take it on Saturday. Let's move over to our guy, Big Boss. Let's see what else he has on his card. You got another play?
I got a couple plays that I'm looking into, Jimmy. I haven't completely locked everything in. Still Wednesday. Stay tuned for DJ Big Boss on all the shows I do all week, and also come see us on the Clothing Line where everything is final. Everything must go. All picks must go. Everything is final. But for right now, I'm just having a 20% off DJ Big Boss picks right here. But I'm kind of leaning in this USC game. Now, this is their first time on the road. They had 2 home games, and they're traveling to BYU. I don't see what the big deal is, -4. USC's defensive line was smothered BYU's offensive line. And the quarterback over there, I really like this guy, man. Kurt Warner, quarterback last year in high school. This guy threw some bombs to St. Brown and some more that were just like pinpoint accuracy. And I was kind of down on him after the first game when he came in at halftime. And I was like, I don't know if this guy is really it. But after, being labeled the starter and warming him up, the guy got a really nice skill set. And he could be the future. JT Daniels, he might have to cash out on this one. But I really like this guy at SC. I'm down on this BYU team. When they played Utah in the game, I seen a lot of bad tackling again. I seen a lot of undersized men taking big positions at linebacker and places like that. So I really like SC. And then another one that I'm looking into was Syracuse and Clemson. Now, Syracuse barely lost to Clemson last year, so I'm sure Clemson has a chip on their shoulder after this Syracuse team. And this time they get them at home. Now, grass is the Achilles heel, as my man Big Ragu say, for Syracuse. Slows them down. They're a turf team. But they must have something drawn up to contain Clemson because they've been doing a good job, even with all of Clemson's NFL players that, they had last year. Now, this group's a little bit less down than NFL players, and they played the Syracuse team again. But plus 28, guys. I got to take 28 or something, especially in the pick six. Because in the pick six, I want to take all the points that I can. You got to beat me by 28 with Syracuse to give a win on me on that one. But that's my other looks that I'm really looking at. I took a look at the Kentucky game, but I haven't really dug into it. I also was wondering about this Maryland and Temple game. I tried to take a bite off of that. I don't know why the line is at 7 after all the offense that Maryland had. Now, supposedly this could be like in a rival game right here, and it's at Temple. I don't see Temple being the team that's going to slow down this Maryland. I really think out of the 2 Cinderella teams that we had so far, North Carolina and Maryland, one's going to continue. One may fall off this week. And if I had to choose between the 2, I'd take Maryland -7.
Wow, interesting look. Are you going to make a move on the BYU spot, do you think, or it's just something you're talking about right now?
No, those are – I wasn't able to complete my study list today. I only had 1 pick out of the Mountain West so far. I still got to dig a little deep. I just been doing a lot of film study with these games that I just mentioned. So I got to go into the, the numbers and, the the history and all that other little stuff before I get some official plays. But, hopefully I make it on the bag show this week, Jimmy, and I able to drop a couple of jewels on that show and also on Closing Line, the Big Boss Show, all that good stuff.
Love that. Love that breakdown. All right, I'm taking notes. Maryland could be the story that continues, thinking that Syracuse may be a look, plus all the points. Let's see what Ragu's looking at next on his card. Ragu, what are you up to?
I got a look here. Penn State-Pittsburgh game. This one kind of reminds me somewhat of the Michigan Army game. Now, if you look at who Penn State played, they played Idaho and Buffalo and run the scoreboard up. No big deal, right? It's because they're going to do that anyways. And Franklin, he's known to keep his foot on the gas no matter what. That I look back in history with these last couple years on these games here. Penn State 51-6 and 33-14. So it's a 19-point win and a 45-point win. Two big wins. Now this has got a total of 51.5. So for Penn State stomping a hole in people's ass, you figure if they were that strong, they would run it up here and they would maybe cover 51 themselves. But I don't think so. I think this game is going to be close to that number. So if you like the under, you got to take the points with Pittsburgh, which is 17. So, I mean, they could realistically win the game, 35 to maybe, 18. I'd put it right there close. That makes the total go to 53, so it becomes over. So if you like the under, you got to lean Pittsburgh. Now, Pittsburgh played Ohio University, and who was the other team they played? Let's see, last screen. Penn State, Pittsburgh. Help me out here, guys, for a second. But anyways, I like the getting the points here with Pittsburgh. They had two tough games. They're 1-1, and I think they can hang with Penn State because they are kind of an in-state rival. And even though the score's indicative of the last 2 years where they got blown out, I think with that lower number, just from all the years I've been playing, when you get a look like that, it's going to be a lot closer game than what you think it's going to be. So take the 17. Maybe you get 18 by game time. I'd wait till kickoff on this one if you're interested in taking Pittsburgh plus the points.
You bring up some interesting things here. First off, I lost to Pittsburgh last week with Ohio and was beating myself up over that game. What did you think of that 2010 Pittsburgh win over Ohio last week? And would you, if you had a free play on the total, take the under in Pittsburgh Penn State this weekend?
If I had to take a swing at it, I would probably lean towards the under for sure. If I had a free play, I'd be on the under for sure. I'd take the under 51.5 or 52, whatever it is.
And what did you think of Pittsburgh's 2010 win over Ohio?
Not too impressive, but Ohio's got a pretty good offense. What's Frank Zolak? He does perform well against the Big Ten teams, and they did hold them down. And then the Virginia game before that, they lost 14-30. Virginia's a pretty good team, and I think they got a good shot to win that ACC on their side of the conference. So two pretty decent teams. Maybe not the best look in both games, but I think they play competitive with Penn State in this one.
Man, I like those breakdowns. Also, Nuclear Skull says Army explodes week 3 against UTSA. I'd be interested in what Ragu has to say about that Army UTSA spot. I also, as we are bringing this show to a close, would like to pour a little Jameson. And thank you guys all so much for watching and supporting us here at Pick 6. Because as you know, we have no show without you guys. It's just you guys that make this show happen. So thank you guys so much for watching. Ragu, what do you think about UTSA? They were plus 25-point dogs. I took them last week. They got destroyed. And now here they are against Army. What do you think happens in this spot, Ragu?
All right, Army. I love Army. We bet them week 1. They shit the bed. And now that I go back and look at that game, it all makes sense to me after the fact. But when they're not a really good double-digit favorite on the road or at home, whatever. I think when they are an underdog, which in most cases they are when they're playing the bigger teams, that's a great look for Army. Now, the UTSA, I thought they would show better than they did in their first game of the season, which I had the plus 25, 26. We took the L there. What's the current number on it, Jimmy? Because when I looked at it, I kind of shied away from it.
I'm going to pull it up right now. I've got last week's action in front of me because I was going over that loss and seeing exactly what I got. Because that line with Ohio Pittsburgh opened at 5.5, and sure enough, I took it at a worse number than that. What a mistake when I look back at how I handled that. I'm going to pull up this Army UTSA spot because I think it's an interesting look here after we watch them. Army opens at -16. They're now at -17. This total stayed strong at 45, although Bet365 and Heritage dropped down to 44.5. What do you think? Army 17 points on the road. Road favorite, Raghu. What do you think there?
Yeah, I'm not crazy about it because now realistically you need 3 touchdowns to beat them, and now you see what they were basically 3 touchdowns against Rice, and I'm going to say UTSA is probably a better football team than Rice is collectively, so that's a no-go for me.
No-go, but not for Nuclear Skull, who delivers the goods. Nuclear Skull is a great capper. Keep your eye on him when he's in the chat. Says Army explodes week 3 versus UTSA. Going to copy and paste that. Eddie Obasolan says Army is an under team. Won't cover that spread. Raven in the Desert, UTSA should cover and under. God, I love Raven's big dog looks. He gave me a couple on the show. He's been all over Norfolk State. Norfolk State at plus 22.5 now, plus 23. Shell Dog backing UTSA, or sorry, yeah. Sorry, he wrote UTSA at plus 17. So I'm going to copy and paste that. The Shell Dog is on it as well. So sorry to keep hammering on this game, but I think I might make a move on it. Rigu, one last time. If you don't like Army, then do you like UTSA, or is this a no bet?
Yeah, it's a pass. It's a pass.
Okay. Barry Block saying, I have a cousin that plays D-line for UTSA. They're struggling to stop the run, something that Army is great at. And Hearing Rigu says that's a pass. And look at Nuclear, 13-1-1 straight up NFL last week. Beautiful work. Final thoughts. Going to put a bow on this bad boy. What a treat it is. What an honor it is to get to work with you guys every Wednesday night right here. And let's build this audience. Let's get more and more cappers joining us for the Pick 6 show. And let's get our record to improve quickly. DJ Big Boss, man, do I love running with you. What are your final thoughts? Whether it be on the card or whether it be about life. DJ Big Boss, final thoughts. Pick 6.
Hey, my final thoughts on life, pay your taxes. But I got some official NFL picks. I expected to be on a little longer for NFL, Jimmy. My official NFL picks is Chicago. And I also like the Rams as well. Putting the Saints on grass always throws them off a little bit. So, and that those two been playing head to head for a couple times in a few seasons. So I'm liking the Rams at home. I'm liking Chicago for sure. But on Twitter, I'm DJ Big Boss, BIGGBOSS. I'd like to start something with all my low baggers and all my people in the chat and just all my people on gambling Twitter and all that stuff. For the Pick 6, we got to bring some fire to this thing right here, right? So I'm going to challenge. I'm going to put together a challenge, hashtag Pick 6 challenge, okay? I'm going to put the hashtag Pick 6 challenge. And this challenge is that we're going to say every Friday, all those that's locked and loaded by Friday, I want you to take a snapshot or, type out all your Pick 6 picks for the week. Be totally transparent. Put your picks up there, Pick 6 of the week, hashtag it, Pick 6 challenge, and tag the next capper in it and see if they do the same. We're going to see how long this thing roll around.
I love it. Pick 6 challenge. Pick 6 challenge coming up from our DJ Big Boss. We go from one big to another big. 2 big guys I love rolling with. Big Ragu, final thoughts.
Pick six, baby. Pick six. Get involved. Whoever's in the chat, do it tonight. Don't even waste no time thinking about it. A lot of money every week. 17 weeks of getting money, and then a nice prize at the end. So you got to get involved, guys. You got to get involved. And let me give you a little system that I play in the NFL. This is what Big Ragu does. Blindly. I know a lot of people are talking about this game with the Giants and the Bills. Anytime you get a team that plays back-to-back road games, go the other way. Take it from me. Jimmy, if you were on Buffalo, you better bail out. Get out of the game.
I am on Buffalo, but Ragu, they're not traveling anywhere, man. Don't you think that comes into play here?
It's a bus ride. It's still technically travel, all right? but listen, let me say one thing about life now, okay? On this day, 18 years ago, in the city I love, the country I love, the people that I love, we had a travesty. So never forget 9/11. All the people in New York, all the people in Pennsylvania, all the people in Washington, and of course, all the people in the United States of America, this great country we live in, around the world. Keep those people in your prayers today. That's what I ask.
Well said. Well said, Ragu. What a perfect way to put a bow on this show. Beautifully put. We have no show without these incredible cappers in our chat, and I thank you immensely from the bottom of my heart. Truly, without your insights, without your humor, without you guys putting energy into the show, we have nothing. So I thank you guys so much. Paco Healy, Terrell Moody, Barry Block, all you guys, Shell Dog, Alec Holligan, Nuclear Skull, Drinking Hand, Anthony Mastronardi, Raven in the Desert, Tomarino Tomor, Eddie Obasoan, Keith Sadler, Malik Ogburn, Chef Pat Can Cook, Rock Boy Mac, Drinking Hand, Jermel Wright, Walla Walla Dose. All you guys, from the bottom of our hearts and from everybody at SBR, thank you guys for caring and being a part of our show. Pick Six every Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern with myself, DJ Big Boss, and Big Ragu. We're going to be hammering football all year long. And when I look at baseball, although it looks like we're on to a nice winning night, it bores me. It puts me to sleep. Gridiron, baby. Let's talk football nonstop for the next few months. Thank you to everybody watching at home. Let's get that cash. Good luck in the Pick Six. And if you're not in it, get in it. We're going to talk to you guys soon. From all of us at SBR, thank you for watching.